According to my Steam page, exploration will be a huge part of Project Mine, but at the current stage exploration means flying through different colored galaxies, which isn't really interesting. To change that, I decided to work on alien-flooded planets with more mysteries than you can possibly discover, so let's see what I've done. First, I wanted to create my own planets right away, but this exploration system required some other mechanics to work properly, so I took this demo scene to give you a rough overview of the results I could get when developing my own planets. And while you can have a look at this stunning scenery, I implemented the first feature, which was the transition between space and planets. It might not sound like the most important step, but it's not only the visual transition I had to think about, but also boring things like saving and loading. So here you have the transition with this fancy loading screen, and we can finally jump over to the new enemies, which will make exploring unknown planets way more difficult. As always, I got some interesting behavior in the beginning, but after a bit of work the first aliens inhabited the planet. At least for a short period of time, because they were stupid as hell and got slaughtered faster than my heart after the third cup of coffee. Anyways, after a while they decided to fight back or just dance, I don't know, but at least they did something. This something turned into an ice ray attack, but instead of shooting me, the aliens tried to crawl Batman. Luckily he was on vacation, so I slaughtered them again, when one of them suddenly decided to leave the scene.
Bye, have a beautiful time!
However, after some debugging and tweaking values, I finally finished the ice monsters with his slowing ice ray ability. They are quite easy to fight in open areas, but while discovering some caves or canyons, those ice guys can be really tough. The same goes for the second elementary alien. It's a fire monster with the ability to ignite you with either his fire breath or this annoying fireball, which makes him a bit more dangerous in open areas as well. Next, I decided to implement destructible items because it was a lot of fun in one of my older projects and it can add a lot to the general game feel. For now I have two different ways of destruction, one for squishy things through animation and one for hard things like this. I might have to play around with the chaos system a bit more because for some reason I can't add an impulse to the separate pieces, which is why it looks kinda impactless. Less impactless, however, feels the thing I decided to add next. Since walking isn't that entertaining, I quickly implemented a jetpack so you can cross the planets faster and dodge some attacks if you time it right. Indeed, I need to create some UI for it as well, but as you might already know, I never do what I should do, so I found myself creating a boss fight out of this skeleton. Therefore, I exploited a friend again by asking for some animations, and since he delivered faster than expected, the skeleton is already able to awake and dive into the earth. However, since this video is about exploration, the skeleton doesn't awake after simply jumping into his eye pit, but after doing some adventurous stuff. Figuring out what's meant by adventurous stuff is up to you when the game is released, and if you don't want to miss that date, make sure to wishlist Project Mine on Steam. Once he's awake though, you better dodge his spikes and wait for him to jump out before figuring out how to kill him. And that's more or less all I've done in the last months, because I had to do some important stuff. So thanks a lot for watching and make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date. Have a good one.